So you're dreaming of Egypt and maybe even taking some of your own cheesy travel photos like these. You've spent a lifetime dreaming of being here, and if you're anything like us, the ancient appeal is what it's all about. Now, before we get started with the at the time storytelling footage, we've been to 44 countries and visited many of those multiple times over 4 years of full-time travel. We film and blog and help others to travel as well. This was our first time booking and using Agoda in all of our travels, and nothing quite like this has ever happened to us before. Hopefully it never happens to you, and that's why we're making this video. So here you go. Okay, so we made it.
To Cairo.
To Cairo.
Well,
it was an adventure.
Giza.
Yeah, we're located smack right in front of the Giza plateau.
The place is just nuts. It's an absolute hub of activity. There's camels and horses and tuk-tuks and cars. Chaotic, but absolutely loving it. Egypt, Cairo, baby.
So it's incredible, but it was definitely an adventure to get here. That was from a lot earlier, but quite the adventurous first day. And we will tell you a lot more about it later on in the video.
24 hours of madness, even from the airport.
So I always take care of the planning and the booking for our travels. There's always one of those in every couple. But we usually predominantly use Expedia and booking.com for the majority of our reservations. Stick with booking.com. They have reviewed tours and you know what you're going to get. Like, I've been so disappointed with the hotel services in regards to the tour. We've been to 44 countries around the world now and returned to many of those countries multiple times. So but if you're looking for accommodations or places to stay, you can always check out our website at closerlives.com. Where you can see everywhere in the world that we've actually stayed and our thoughts on each accommodation. So today we're talking about hotels, and so this is the first time, literally the first time, that I've used Agoda booking system. Now, a lot of people know that when you come to Egypt in Cairo, they nickname it the scam capital of the world. Oh, they don't have harassing them. Very difficult to enjoy yourself without having people ask. You can't blame them though. They're just trying to make a living. You have to be polite, say no, and keep walking. Leon and I have been full-time travelers for 4 years. We're not rookies when it comes to the travel scene. So
been there, done that.
Yeah. So I booked our accommodations through Agoda. The accommodations that we booked, we had the hotel name. I went through all the photos. I looked at all of the reviews on multiple different platforms. I went on Google Maps myself to see the exact proximity to the pyramids, where we'd be facing, what region we would be in, which I highly recommend you do for yourself when you're booking accommodations as well. Yeah, so we did the booking through Agoda, and I went on to the messaging app section of the actual platform, which I also encourage you to do whenever I use Expedia and things like that. If I need to contact the hotel, I contact them through the platform that I've used, so that you have it on record, the conversation, because you never know if they give you a WhatsApp number. So it was really interesting. So with Agoda, I used the messaging app, messaged and gave them our flight information, asked for a ride from the hotel direct to the airport, since the arrival was going to be really early in the morning. Got to the airport, our name was there, my name was there, so we met the driver. He took us outside and took us into the car. Really nice guy. It was a decent ride. He drove pretty safely, and we got to the hotel. So this was round about 2 a.m. in the morning, like 3:30 in the morning. Okay, yeah, about 3:30 in the morning. So obviously we're tired. Got there immediately. Jen sensed something was off. The front of the hotel did not look how it looked on the photos. But nonetheless, our bags were taken for us. We went. They were really nice. Yeah, they were great, and they took us up to the reception desk area.
And at this point, it was starting to feel a bit strange. So Jen obviously clearly knew the lobby was completely different to what we'd seen online.
But I also did think maybe we came in a back entrance or came in from a different way, like didn't pull up to the front of the hotel. You know, you're half asleep, and we just came off a 5-day road trip, like with little to no sleep through Turkey. So we were exhausted.
Yeah, indeed. And then checked, we hadn't paid online, which was fine. So we agreed to pay for the full stay. Now
we also, I booked incorrectly. Our flight arrived at like 2:40 in the morning on the 29th, and I actually made the reservations from the 30th until the 6th. So we were missing one night, so they offered to give it to us for like $20. We gave the passports, we checked in. That's what you do, right? It's what you do when it's like no brainer. And to go if we wanted to see the rooftop first.
Yeah, and he offered to get us some food as well because we hadn't eaten. We then went up onto the roof, and that was another couple of flights up. And as soon as we got out onto the roof, this is where I think when the red flag for Jen was like,
immediately,
this is not the view that we, and for me, like, you know, I was kind of just like, okay, let's get some food. We'll just have a quick drink. Was really thirsty, and then we'll kind of assess our options and see what's going on. Also,
I do all the planning, so like I'm looking, analyzing photos. Like Leon will be like, okay, cool, you know, which is fine. So I know what to look for, and I was like, no.
Okay. The hotel guy, I mean, he wasn't the manager. He said that he was in charge, but he just kind of works there. Actually, he was great. But
well, I mean,
in terms of his service,
I don't really care too much about how good they were there. We'll get to that later. I don't really know what happened. As we tell you the story, you can maybe let us know in the comments what you think happened. But that was my first alarm, and I kind of was like, this is not the view of the photos from what I booked online. And he's like, oh, ma'am, you're not happy or disappointed. I'm like, no, this is not the view. This is not the hotel. And then, you know, he was kind of just trying to be all friendly about it and brush it off, like, you know. And then I pulled out the Agoda booking thing, and I literally pulled it out and I showed him, and I'm like, look, and he's like, well, how would I have all your information? How would I have your travel dates? How would I know? And I'm like, well, I don't know how. I have no idea how. But I pulled out the listing and I double checked myself. And it literally, when I finally went on Google Maps after, I saw that there really was the hotel that we had made the bookings for, but it was like closer to the pyramids, different, like maybe about 5 minutes away from where we actually were. So in the evening, we didn't really say too much because it was really late, right? So, and we wanted to kind of...
Yeah, and we didn't want to rock the boat too much, you know?
Yeah, because it's an intimidating situation.
Yeah, it was late. What were we going to do? The particular hotel was about a 6-minute walk away.
Yeah.
And you can literally see the rooftop from both hotels. So we decided to sort of get our heads down, have a quick shower, freshen up, and get a bit of kip and then deal with it in the morning, didn't we?
Yeah, so then in the morning, and I, like right away, I said to Leon, I'm like, we got to check this out. And he said, oh, my manager will come, the owner will come tomorrow around lunchtime and talk to you, get some sleep, we'll talk tomorrow, we'll sort it out. And I was like, yeah, we're going to sort it out because this is not right. I don't know what's going on, but I want some compensation here because this is clearly not right. So then when we woke up, we kind of just agreed. I was like, listen, like, let's go grab some breakfast. Let's act like everything is fine. Let's not say anything.
Yeah.
And because we saw on Google Maps the actual place. So then Leon was going to go take a 5-minute walk over there. I was going to stay at the hotel just to go see if there really was the other hotel, first of all, and if they actually had our bookings or not, right? Because we didn't want to leave and then be stuck without a hotel. So I stayed in the room. The guy came and saw us for breakfast, and we just acted like everything was fine. And we're like, okay, we're going to go downstairs. And he's like, yeah, the manager will be here in about an hour.
The breakfast was
good.
It
was.
It's nice
fine. Lots to talk about, but we'll talk about it later.
Yes.
All that to be said, for sure. They were very kind to us. They were very nice to us. The hotel itself is nice. If that's what you wanted to book, it's fine. It was a little lower budget than where we're currently at right now, but it was great, you know, and they were great. But the problem is we don't know what exactly happened. And so that's the problem, and that's why I don't want to give too much praise, because obviously something's up. And something went down to the room, and the guy went to go rest or whatever, and he told us, stay in your room, the owner will be back soon, and then, you know, we'll sort it out or whatever. And so then I stayed in the room, and Leon like boogied out.
Covert, like secret get out of the hotel kind of thing. And I got really lucky because the guy must have just literally left the reception desk as I come around the corner. I kind of snuck out there and got outside.
And at this point, it's like noon. We woke up at 11 and, you know, yeah. So.
Yeah. And so got outside, had Google Maps on through our eSIM, Gig Sky. Thank you very much for that. And I would highly recommend that, by the way.
Incredible. There's such a good eSIM.
The Wi-Fi here really doesn't work very well. And actually, interestingly, on the Wi-Fi in this hotel / not hotel we shouldn't have been in, getting onto Agoda there, which is interesting. But we had our eSIMs, so again, Gig Sky, thank you very much.
Yes, thank you.
And so I took a walk. It was pretty straightforward. Bit of a hustle on the streets, as you know, but I got
Welcome to Cairo.
Yeah, and I got to our correct hotel where we currently are. And
however,
when I got in, I asked if they have a because what I was curious to see is actually our reservation was supposed to start on the 30th.
Yeah, because we were that one day early.
Yeah.
So we hadn't missed our reservation at the actual hotel. So we're like, oh, it's just going to kick in at 3:00 this afternoon, so everything should be fine.
Yeah. So I was fully expecting to go in there and then for them to say, oh yeah, we're expecting you. So I gave my name, I gave Jen's name, nothing. So I went on to Agoda. I then showed them the booking reference and the reference number, I think, of their overall transaction.
The photos, the name,
nothing.
Everything.
And then things started getting really weird. I went and took a look. And the photos for what we booked were all correct for this hotel, bar one.
There's 200 photos, by the way, in the listing.
Yeah.
There are 200... yes, you heard me right. 200.
I mean, you're never going to flick through
photos.
200, right?
200 photos.
And so that was the only giveaway. So he straight away said, look, we don't have your booking. This is not the right hotel. That picture that obviously said, do you want to stay at this hotel? So obviously, first of all, my first instinct was to say, this is very weird. Here's my booking. I don't know why you haven't received it, but this is what we booked, so this is where we want to stay. We just now need to figure out how we're going to get out of the other hotel. First stop was to check the rooms, the room we're in now, also check the rooftop room and the rooftop view. Instantly knew this was the one.
So disappointed I didn't get to see it with him when I booked it, and it was so special and beautiful. But anyways.
Yeah, so I checked everything out. Everything was fine. But they had space for us. And the chap at the concierge, Mahmoud, who was fantastic throughout the whole process, I said to him, look, I need to get out of the other hotel. I'm going to need a car. So can you get us like a taxi, or can you maybe nip over in the car to wait for? Very kindly waited outside. When I came in, so as I mentioned earlier, I had to go up to a couple of flights of stairs to get to the the concierge desk. As I came around the corner of the stairwell, the chap who had meted us the night before, he looked like he'd seen a ghost. Like, he just jumped straight away, which was really interesting, his reaction. So it was at that point.
So 3 guys blocking the stairway.
Yeah, there was. And so at this point, I'm thinking, okay, so first of all, I said to him, look, I haven't got a lot of time. We've already paid you guys. I just want to get my luggage. I'm ready to go to the actual hotel. I think there's been a mistake on Agoda. I don't know what that problem is. Like, this hotel had our booking, even though they hadn't. And they were very surprised by that. So they kept asking, oh, can I see? I said, look, I showed you all this last night. And I showed you the name of the hotel on Agoda was not the same as the hotel we were in. Yeah, so I'm standing on a stairwell. The door is being blocked, so I can't get through the doorway. And I specifically said to them, look, I've got a car outside. My reservation is set in the next hotel. And they were really surprised when it said, but we have your booking. How? And he was trying to take my phone. So
First
I
warning sign.
Quickly messaged the driver outside and just said to him, look, just wait for me and not let him get out. And he actually replied back and said, if they do not let you leave, call the police.
Yeah.
I was thinking, well, I don't think it's going to be that at that point. So at this stage, I'd already messaged Jen to let her know I was here.
I'm sitting in the room, so I was like, so he messaged me the minute he got out of the car, so I'm waiting, and then he's not up there, and I know how the lobby is set up, so I would have been able to hear them from the hotel room that I was in, so I couldn't hear them. So that's basically what I did. I came out of the room, and I brought the luggage, and I was like, listen, sorry guys, but like, we paid you. I don't know what happened here, but we are leaving. We have a ride waiting outside, and they're like, oh, no, we have to check this. And in all fairness, they did kind of say, well, we could, they were kind of brushing off not wanting to give the refund. They could have very well have done it, but it was like $100. And we just were a little bit really frustrated at this point. Literally every single aspect of the hotel was this hotel. Photos, everything. The only thing I did was message, and so they got all of that. So their phone number is there. Their booking, stuff is connected to it. So they did it. I don't know if the two hotels are connected. I'm not really sure. That's part of the dilemma that we have.
Well, we actually, after then, when we were here, we actually checked Agoda again and just searched best view pyramid hotel, and there are actually two listings. One that comes up first, and if you scroll down, then there's a second one, and I don't know if that's significant, but what's also interesting is the price advertised on Agoda is $10 cheaper than the cheapest room here in this hotel. So
right, but so when another reason I booked it too was because it said special offer, right? So obviously like $150 for 6 or 7 nights is super low, but the accommodation prices here in Egypt are incredible as well. So that's not unheard of. If the room would go for $30 or $40 a night, to be able to get it on sale for $15, it's off season right now. So I just thought, okay, maybe the hotel's just looking
doing an offer or something.
I just said
when
enough's
Jen
enough.
Came, they moved out of the way, and another chap actually turned up who actually looked. He was
who's some
very
big
tall
guy,
chap, and he was really smartly dressed, and was thinking, who's this guy? So he did let us out, and actually
we didn't argue about the money though. That was the main thing. I was like, you know what, keep it. Keep the money. I don't want the fuss. I don't want the trouble. I want the holiday that I planned for, and we'll sort this out later.
And kind of at that point is when he then offered to take our bags to the car, which was really cool. So Amora, he took our bags to the car. He sent us off goodbye.
He messaged and said, cancel the booking. So here's the thing. You guys might be upset about the money, but the reality is I've paid for that booking now, right? So I can leave a review to warn other travelers. If I would have canceled that booking, I could not go on there and leave a review. But now the dilemma is that there is this real listing too. So I don't want to confuse people because you want to book. But what we will do is give you the booking links through booking.com and Expedia.com. Do not use Agoda. Do not use Agoda when you're booking coming to Cairo, especially these smaller hotels around. And we don't know what is what and who is who. And
we're being told to review anywhere but Agoda. So we're being told here to review TripAdvisor, Google, which is fine, which we would do anyway. But even they're saying leave Agoda alone. So I don't know. They're
just saying they don't trust it, that's what they say here too. So anyways, so then we got our stuff, went downstairs, got into the taxi, and then made our way here. And it was very stressful, actually. I was really worried about Leon. I wasn't sure how the hotels are connected. I don't know if people own the same hotels. I'm not sure, right? And the way that it's been done is very well done because the hotel is trying to blame Agoda. I don't want to cancel Agoda at this point because I want to be able to warn other travelers that one's not legit. And then when we got here, they were like, oh, that's shocking. And they don't know anything about it.
And it's weird for them here because if their booking information is going to this other hotel, they're potentially losing customers without even knowing. I
can't imagine, listen, like I keep saying, we're seasoned travelers, but if you came to Egypt for the first time and that happened to you and you're not comfortable walking around and getting around, or you're just getting your toes wet and when it comes to world travel, Cairo's a busy city. It can be like Mumbai or whatever in India. They're intense. You have to have your confidence and your wits about you. I just want to put that warning out there. We're not pointing any fingers specifically at any particular person or hotel because we're not really fully sure what went down. And the other thing is if we would have canceled that reservation and they would have let us go, which they probably wouldn't have, to be honest, because they want the business, which makes sense, of course. But if imagine if we would have canceled that first and said, no, sorry, but we're in the wrong place, and then tried to go to this hotel where we thought we had our reservations. They had no information about us whatsoever. Be confusing. Let us know in the comments what you think happened. This hotel that we're at has been really great. They've handled it really well.
A big shout out to them is when they checked us in, we were checking into their kind of one of their regular suites, and they do have a rooftop suite, which the manager was there at the time, and after he maybe overheard what was going on, then offered us...
No. So, well, yeah. But what happened was, so first of all, they were really great, because this room that we're staying in is usually $50 a night, and they gave it to us for $30 a night, because they know that we already paid $20 plus per night at the other hotel and would have lost out on the money.
Also an interesting correlation.
Yeah. But so that was really nice and kind of generous. And then when we sat down, the concierge who drove Leon and everything, who we actually thought was the hotel owner, said, oh, this is the owner. And the owner had been sitting in the lobby the whole time, and was like, he said, oh, we'll give you a free drive around to the markets and everything. And then he called me over to come and sit down, and we started talking a little bit, and he was like, I'm sorry about the situation. And then I started to cry a little bit. I got teary-eyed, and I felt stressful. Because as much as with travel, it's like you're really by yourself. There's no like modern convenience of 911 if you have an emergency or calling the police. They don't just come on the buck of a dime. So, it can be intimidating, but you also don't want to get caught up in your own head too. So I finally felt the rush of release. So I got a little bit teary-eyed, and he was so nice. And he was like, oh, you have such good karma. And he's like, don't worry, I'll get you a drink. Like, it was stressful. He's like, I know a massage person that takes bad energy. It was so nice. And then I said to him, I was like, we're travel. At this point, they had no idea. And I was like, we're travel influencers. This is what we do for a living. Thank you for being so kind and helpful. And we will feature your hotel, which we were planning to do anyways. We don't always tell accommodations what we do, because, they will treat you a little bit differently. And we want to make sure that you get treated the same way that we do. Indeed. So they have like a really beautiful suite that has the same view. When I booked this hotel, I saw that room. It was a lot more money, but they have a rooftop restaurant here with breakfast included. I knew that we could have literally the same view, which we currently do. Like in the restaurant is one level below. So it's been an adventure to get here, but we are here. Exactly what I wanted to see. Look at this.
Right there. Look at this. Oh man, I can zoom into that like I'm standing right in front of it.
Oh, we kind of are though. You could not get a better view than this of the pyramids. I could not have asked for anything. Too close, you can't get the full view. Wow. But he offered us the room for free. That was really, really nice. And the jets weren't working. The water pressure was extremely low, but it is Egypt. The water facilities and the Wi-Fi is terrible. So make sure you bring your own internet, unless maybe you're staying in the Radisson or the Hilton, or you're here on an all-inclusive type of situation. It might be different. But what else? The other thing that I thought was really interesting too is that the price for the suite that we were in is, I think it goes about $150. I don't like to list prices because obviously it changes all the time, depends on your booking platform, your booking status, all these different things. But when we went, the price that the room goes for is basically what we ended up paying for the other hotel. So we got the room upgrade, which was really kind on their end, but financially we basically ended up paying for that room itself and here.
But overall, even with all of that experience said, when we finally got to sit down on this rooftop with a coffee, just looking out at the view from this hotel, it's called the best view pyramids hotel for a reason, because it is spectacular. And there was a show at 8:30. There's music and lights, and
so nice.
Despite all of the welcome that we had to Egypt throughout all this process, that made it all worth it.
Oh my gosh!
And I don't want this to put anybody off from coming
and come
here.
to this hotel.
Yes, come here.
It is absolutely beautiful.
We'll put it on Google Maps and just make sure if you're getting a taxi ride from the airport, just make sure they're taking you to where we pin drop on the map there, yeah.
Yeah, no, we'll put the proper booking links
yeah.
for you. So head over to closerlives.com. Anything that you see there will be legitimate, will be checked and be proper. So we will, I'm not sure if I'll show you in this video the clips throughout of the 2 accommodations. Like, I do want to say the other hotel was fine. You know, they were really kind. I can't say for sure if it was an Agoda problem, if the hotel did it on purpose, scam me. If this hotel's linked, how would I know? How would I know? I don't know. I have no idea. I have no idea. Let me know what you think, but it didn't seem to be a very... I've never encountered this, like I said, in all of my travels. I've been to hotels where that... We went to one in India where the pictures were a little bit different, but that was it. It was still had some of the same. But like Leon said, it's incredible. I mean, I have been dreaming about coming to the pyramids. We have been to Egypt before, so if you are thinking of visiting, we stayed in Gouna near Hurghada, which is absolutely incredible. It's like the Riviera of Egypt. And we also went to Luxor, but this is our first time in Cairo. We'll be here for a week. And so, thanks for watching. And just remember, sometimes even when you cross your T's and dot your I's, problems can still arise. But, you know, just be really mindful, try your best. Hopefully you can learn something from this. However, I don't think I could have done anything differently. So I think anyone else would have been put in this exact same position. These things into consideration, but I don't want to discourage you. I don't want you to discourage you from Egypt travel or world travel. We've been doing it for 4 years. It's been an incredible journey, and I wouldn't change one moment of it. So, you know, be brave.
And be bold.
Yeah. Be bold and be brave. And now we're going to drink our coffee because I think it's cold. Oh, and we're going to go watch the first Arsenal game.
And on that note, we will see you soon.
And keep an eye out for our Egypt series. It may not be here right away. I'm going to release this video probably when we get settled in Thailand. So you might see this sooner before you see our actual Egypt footage. We do have Turkey to get through, and then we'll be on to Egypt, and then we'll be on to China. So who knows when you're going to see this. But if our Egypt series is not out, please do keep an eye out for that.
Indeed.
All right. See you soon.
Maybe not soon enough.
Ciao.
Closerlives.com, baby.
Bye.